Till 1802, Jews had buried their dead next to the old Drava Bridge, which was the place where non-Catholics were buried. In 1802, the Jewish community rented and then in 1803 bought this piece of land for the new cemetery. The cemetery has stayed in the same place until today. A mortuary was built in 1810 and in 1927 was redecorated by Valent Morandini to celebrate 150th anniversary of the Jewish community in Varaždin. On that occasion, a new ceremonial hall was consecrated. In the Second World War, the Jewish cemetery was first devastated during the search of hidden partisan Communist Party technical equipment. After 1945, there were no more burials at the cemetery. It was unkept and left to decay, and the devastation of irresponsible individuals who used to steal the tombstones and burglarize the graves. In order to protect the cemetery from such vandalism, in 1959, People's Committee of Varaždin County and the Jewish communities in Belgrade decided to select and sell 23 tombstones and use the money to build a fence around the cemetery, repair the mortuary, and clean the lanes and shrubbery. Today, the cemetery presents an important monument of culture, and the city of Varaždin is responsible for its maintenance. In 2005, the Ministry of Culture of Republic of Croatia has declared the Jewish cemetery a protected monument of culture and an important part of Jewish cultural heritage in Varaždin.
This is a mortuary. It is a simple building built in classicist style from the beginning of the 19th century. It has a symmetric design. The area of the cemetery, which has the shape of a rectangle, is surrounded by stone walls on the northern, western, and the eastern side. There is a metal fence on the southern side of the cemetery. The older part of the cemetery is characterized by more modest stone tombstones with Hebrew inscriptions. Some of them have been damaged by time or by the weather conditions, which makes some epitaphs partially illegible.
The more modern part of the cemetery is characterized by much bigger family tombstones with headstones built in the classicist and secessionist style from the second half of the 19th century. They range from simple vertically laid tombstones with modest ornaments to those which are richer and more ornamented by using single standing sculptures. The examples of richer tombstones belong to the families Moses, Schlinger, Bliss, Ernst, Neumann, Polek, Schwartz. One of the accessories which makes the tombstones more beautiful are well-preserved fences around the tombstones. Some of the tombstones have been removed to the main city cemetery, for example, the tombstones of the Leitner family.
Blau was a highly esteemed town physician. He worked as a community doctor and gave the poor a free medical treatment. His wife, Zora Blau, is the only person who was buried here after the World War II in 1952. There were many other renowned Jewish families who had greatly contributed to all aspects of life in Varaždin before World War II. One of them was the Kreuterblut family, who had changed their surname into Kransky. Arthur Kransky was a famous pharmacist, Ernest Kransky, his brother, was an esteemed lord and a musician, and his wife Yelisava was a renowned pianist. Unfortunately, they all perished in concentration camps.
Neither the synagogue nor the cemetery have been in use since the Second World War, when Varaždin perished during the Holocaust. Mass arrests started on the 12th of July 1941. The arrested Jews were first gathered in the Varaždin Hippodrome and then taken to Zagreb. From there they were taken to Gospić concentration camp, and after this camp was closed in August 1941, men were taken to Jasenovac and women and children first to Lobograd and later in 1942 to Auschwitz. Despite everything, these tombstones remain an everlasting reminder of lives and fates of people who have left an immense contribution and trace in the history of Varaždin. Our Jewish fellow citizens, whose eminent community has been devastated and eradicated in the worst possible way, have greatly contributed to the cultural, economical, and social development of Varaždin.
In 2015, Ivan Mesek, Varaždin artist, made his memorial board in honor of all members of Varaždin Jewish community who had perished in the Holocaust. This monument was revealed on the 27th of January 2015 on the occasion of the Holocaust Remembrance Day. It is made of black marble and one of its ends has been chipped off in order to symbolize the wound made by tragic events during the Holocaust. The surface of the board is polished so that it can reflect the image of the person standing in front of it. In that way, it becomes the place of self-reflection so that these kinds of tragedies won't happen ever again.
On the 9th of November 2019, when we commemorate the Night of Broken Glass, we planted these crocus flowers in memory of all Jewish children who perished during the Holocaust.
We